more light.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.
Reading with one of my favorite people to read with, Lori from The Way of Positive Change.
I'm so honored to be here.
Pay attention to how many cards Lori and I get alike. Happens every time, doesn't it?
It does. It really does. All right. And I'm starting a new deck because it's going to be a new year. And one of my other cards in my other deck got a little damaged. There's actually two. And I thought, okay, it's fine. But I feel good about it, you know?
I need to start a new deck next week. My look, Tower card. Must be doing politics. I go through about 3 decks a year. I wear them out.
I do too. Yeah.
3 or 4. So in the chat, question: what is your favorite Christmas carol and by who? Because sometimes multiple people sing Christmas carols.
Mm-hmm. Gosh, I have so many, but I mean, the one that really makes me get moving is Mariah Carey's, of course. That one just makes me happy.
If I want something to get me going, get me dancing, I love Kelly Clarkson, Run, Run, Rudolph. If I cannot play it in the car, I will get a speeding ticket every time I play it in the car.
That's good.
Aretha Franklin causes me to get speeding tickets also.
Goodness. Let me turn this light up.
I have to say one of my favorite Christmas carols is from Josh Groban's Christmas album. I love his version of Angels We Have Heard on High. If you have not heard it, it's beautiful.
It is. I really like the real upbeat.
I have so many Christmas albums, and I always play the Charlie Brown Christmas soundtrack. Every song on it's awesome. I love jazz, so I love Vince Bardi. What's his name? Gumbardi? That doesn't sound right.
Well, Trump
Giardi.
Trump has Truth Socials 200 times today, telling everyone that Barack Obama needs to be jailed, and about that the Ruby and Shay Moss need to be investigated again with their, that they need to look to them. And it's like,
so he's still talking to Rudy Giuliani then, if he's bringing that up.
200 times? He's sniffed out.
It's beginning to look a lot like an Adderall Christmas, isn't it?
And I don't know if you saw him last night when he was taking the calls about Santa with Melania, and she wanted to get out of there. The whole right side of his mouth was jet out like that. And the other day, he couldn't pronounce sh words with SH in it. He is really not okay. And I got really crazy.
We may start with the health spread on him because I haven't done one in a little while. Lori, do you have any announcements you'd like to give? To book a reading with Lori, I know you go to thewayofpositivechange.com.
Yeah, and you scroll down to just book an appointment, and I have readings available in January, towards the middle and end of January. And we have gift certificates available. I know we both have gift certificates available. And it's
not too late for a Christmas one if you need one.
It's not. And lots of times I read for people on their birthday every year, So it's just a great time. I love this time for people to look ahead. I think it's one of the best times to do it. Just see, and it's like, because luck, how do they say that? Luck favors preparedness.
Yeah.
So So
forewarned is forearmed also.
if you need to, you'll find out if you need to be careful with your health, or if you need to get closer to somebody that you don't like because they might not be around that much longer, but you better go over there and give them a hug or something.
I always say, if you've got a lot going on, job changes or layoff or anything, that's a great time to do a reading. But one of my favorite things, well, I have a couple of favorite things I love to read on it. I love when the grandmas get a reading and want me to look at every single grandkid and how they're going to do for the year. I love that.
Yeah.
I also like doing more spiritual and metaphysic type readings, like what are some of my gifts, how do I open them up more, even past life readings. I can get a lot of hits on past lifetimes and stuff. So
and it could give you some really good hints about maybe even something that you used to do that you need to pick back up again.
Yes.
Like a hobby or an artistic endeavor that you used to do, or a different modality, or it can give you all those kind of hints.
We're in numerology. We're ending a 9-year. 2026 is the 1 year. 2 + 2 + 6 is 10, which reduces to 1. Thank you, JC. Fortune favors the bold. It's a great year to start something you've always wanted to do. Mm-hmm. If there's something new you want to get into, it's a great year for that.
It really is. And it's just like you said, with even past lives, when you get a reading, it can tell you what your God-given talents, gifts, and skills are.
Mm-hmm.
Like where to really focus, where you're really, where you're going to pop, where you're going to shine this year, and then where your challenges are. So it's a lot
funny.
of fun.
Because I read for a lot of grandmas, which I love. A lot of times they're like, because I'll start picking up in the cards when something new's getting ready to come up, and I'm like, are you open to this? You have free will if you want to act on it or whatever. Oh, I'm too old to get into something new, and I'm like, you're never too old. I picked up guitar at the age of 57. I got back into knitting and crocheting. Bought this house. I'm much more into gardening than I've been in a while. You're never too old to start something new.
Nope. The only other thing I have going on is a lot of people have emailed me about it. I'm going to start tarot classes probably the last week of January. It's going to be on Wednesday nights, and you can go ahead and email me now because I'm ready to start. I've had a waiting list, but you can go ahead and email me at thewayofpositivechange@gmail.com. The way, you have to put the in there. The way of positive change.
You have to put the way. Just like it's written on screen there below Lori's name.
Thank you. And that's it for me.
And for me, Jen Lynn Tarot, 2 N's in Jen, 2 N's in Lynn. There are other Jen Lynn Tarots apparently on the internet. JenLynnTarot.com to schedule a reading or to purchase a gift card. And I don't have a seminar scheduled right now for healing energy work. For 2026, if that changes, I'll announce it on Sunday nights, and you register for seminars on my website. But right now, there's no new seminar coming up for me. People have been asking me about it, and it's like,
it will be.
Let's start with Trump's health.
All right.
He's snorting up his Christmas holidays. What's going on with his health?
And I wanted to say hi to Lucky Girl.
Thank you, Lucky Girl, and all our moderators for helping us all year. And thank you, Mystery Achiever, for all the timestamps.
She's wonderful. They're both angels. All right. I think I've got this new Rider-Waite deck. And I'm using the Pamela Coleman ones because they're Smith-Waite Centennial Tarot because they're thicker. I
like a thicker card. Look, there's my card for readers. I like a thicker cardstock too because of the way I shuffle. I don't do like a poker shuffle, card game shuffle. I shuffle side to side, and then if I do a little shuffle, I do it very lightly, side to side. Trump's health.
Okay, Trump's health.
Ooh, I just heard he's in trouble.
He's in
trouble.
We're closer now. We're doing good.
Wow, did you see my light dim down and come back up?
No, I didn't. I had my eyes closed.
Wow.
200 texts in one day. And Christmas Day's not even over.
He's overdoing it.
That's what I got yesterday.
He's overdoing it.
Mm-hmm. He's whacked.
And by that, I mean, he is overdoing it. Can't get him to work Monday through Friday, but get him on a holiday and he's texting 200 times. You know, he only works from what, 12 to 5 or 12 to 3.
He's having he just he's not motivated to do anything but sit there and post, and he's just, like you said, he's just overdoing everything. He's taking too much, and it's making him confused.
His speech is changing, Lori, where you said he couldn't say SH words, his speech is changing.
Forgot my water.
He's having more blood work done. Got neuropathy in those kinkles.
I think he has to. I think he's going to have a procedure. Has to go to the hospital now. You know, whether we know about it, I'm sure they have a room, and you know they can give him all kinds of IVs and everything, but they can't do those huge tests. You know, they don't have an MRI machine there, but
he's definitely having another MRI.
Yeah, he's
going to have another MRI to assess what's going on. There's something going on in his circulatory system.
The 7 of Pentacles too.
Yeah, assessing.
He's revving up, and then he's just kidding.
Pills. And for those who are wondering, yes, I program my cards differently for health readings, so it's not the traditional meanings. I think he's going to end up going under the knife, having surgery too. Some kind of surgery.
Yeah, he's got a portal coming up, and what goes around comes around, and it just
they may have delayed it till after Christmas. There's a Christmas wreath on the world card. They may have moved it till after Christmas.
Yeah, I got the world card from too. I want to grab my water. I forgot my water. Please forgive me.
He's got a bad back. We know that. You know, he always is stooped over and everything. He's got a bad back that affects like his neuropathy in his legs and everything, and his hands. His strength is leaving him, and he definitely has intestinal tract issues too. This MRI is going to be to watch what's going on in the brain.
Yeah, he can't. I think he's having prostate problems as well, because I got the little mushroom card. I usually call it the big wink, but it's a little mushroom. So, and this is also for hydration for me. So I know everybody programs their cards differently, but I think he's having issues with.
Yeah, he's got stomach intestinal tract problems. I think his heart issue is also causing him breathing issues. This is a lungs card for me.
He's just really, I really think that, I think we're both have a lot of intuition when it comes to health with people. Of course, that's one of your specialties. And I've, gone from the medical aspect of it to the intuitive aspect of it. But I just keep every single time I see him, just the levels going lower,
Yeah.
And then your light dimmed.
It keeps doing that. It's like spirits messing with the light. The light is on my computer.
Oh.
And it doesn't tend to do that when I'm doing live streams. It doesn't go in and out. So spirit is definitely saying hello today.
I'm going to take one more look. Is his health, does he have to be admitted for tests soon?
I'm gonna ask, is he gonna have surgery?
Okay.
Soon, like in the first quarter of 2026.
Yeah, I just keep, you know how I got the Knight of Swords yesterday, you got the Knight of Swords today, I'm getting the Knight of Swords again. He just keeps rushing towards dealing with the devil. He just keeps pushing it, pushing it, pushing it. So he's just,
He's trying to control when he dies too. Yeah, that's what narcissists do. They're so stubborn, they even try to control when they die.
I don't feel like he's, I don't think his, of course, it's very hard. It's hard to tell, you know, with death itself, and you should never forecast that. But I don't think this completely takes. I don't think it takes him out. I just think that he's having failure issues. And I don't. I think it's multi-system. So, and I think I have to go for tests because they're looking for something.
I think possibly in about a month he might have some kind of surgery for a blockage, like putting a splint in. But they're having to wait because of his drug addiction. Yeah. You can't do surgery on somebody that's snorting all that Adderall. He's snorting too many pills.
Yeah, he doesn't do what he's supposed to do, for sure.
Yeah, loser Trump's all erratic. And I'm getting, again, Lori, his speech is changing. Isn't that funny? Keep shuffling, separating the cards. They keep coming back up.
And got all those rapid cards, just like you did with the Knight of Swords and the Eight of Wands yesterday. And then he fires off 200 posts. Yeah. If your best friend or somebody in your family fired off 200 posts, you'd be like,
you need to go to a therapist. So, is Trump going to go after Obama?
All right, let's.
Is he going to try? Yeah, I think he would just like to arrest people and no habeas corpus, no, just throw them in prison or unalive them.
Welcome to the chat at Rose Smith. Put you. Good to see you. All right. Is he going after Obama? Because he did again today.
Thank you, Lisa, for repeating the questions for us. Because you know me, sometimes I start shuffling and talking and I forget what the question was.
He is. I got the Five of Swords. I mean, Obama lives in his head. But it's the Hangman.
He's connecting with people about Obama. He would like to unalive him. He would like to give the order from the White House to unalive him. And I get he's working on it, but he's not going to be able to do it because it burdens America too much. So he's going to have to move on from this. But yeah, if he could find somebody to pay to do this, victory on it, he's going to have to walk away. He's not going to be able to do it. It's really interesting. Can we go a little dark for a second?
Yeah, because I got some dark cards here because I think he wants him gone the way the KKK would have taken him out.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. In the Epstein files, there are some things in it that I think were planted that aren't true. There's some things that got unredacted that it's like, oh my God, and it's very damning for Trump. In it, there were two things. There was something about a young woman who got pregnant. I'm going to call her a young woman. Y'all know she was underage, that got pregnant, that he apparently was there when her uncle unalived the baby in Lake Michigan from his yacht, which sounded a little far-fetched to me, but I don't know. I mean, everything he does is far-fetched. Then there was another one about a limo driver in Texas that was driving him from the airport, that heard him on the phone. He doesn't know who he's talking to, but he was talking about a young woman that he had graped. Take the G off.
Right.
that he had graped.
I heard that one.
That was unalived in Oklahoma later. So, did he have anyone unalived besides Epstein? Because I totally believe he had Epstein unalived. Did he have any young women or young women's offspring unalived? We'll ask it that way. He's not going to do it himself, but
Donald Trump. Well, I think this is a yes. Okay.
that's a yes.
Yeah, and I got the judgment card right after it. So I feel like that is
Yeah, this is like whistleblower on unaliving mothers, in particular, mothers that made him anxious. Ended it. He worked together with others on it. So, yeah, took out a contract.
Yeah. And this doesn't really surprise anyone, right? I mean, because we know that what's the name of the hooker that he
Stormy?
Yes. He had Stormy Daniels followed.
Mm-hmm.
And her daughter approached, right? Although that's a little different, but we already know that that's the tactic that is used. And they're finding out more and more that Epstein used that as well.
I know you read a little bit on this yesterday, but the mass exodus from the Heritage Foundation, will the Heritage Foundation survive?
Yeah, let's look at that again, because they're just they're right up there with them.
Yeah, Ivana fell down the steps, right?
Exactly.
Epstein did it himself, right? He's soulless.
All right, the Heritage Foundation, mass exodus over to Mike Pence's group, lawyers, attorneys. Will they?
And I have a follow-up question to this too.
Okay. So will the Heritage Foundation stay alive, prosper, flourish?
If I'm not mistaken, Russell Vought, however I can never pronounce his name, that's now in the White House. He wrote Project 2025 for the Heritage Foundation. Will the Heritage Foundation survive with all the mass exodus? Well, they get some funding from overseas.
They will get funding.
From Russia in particular.
But they are an immediate face plant, and they're nowhere near, they will not be as strong. This is who they've been in the past. Okay. The Chariot, Sun, and now, they're just trying to hold on with strength. But the outcome cards are minor arcana. And that just lets me know that it will never, there is some funding, but they're bleeding. And it will never be what it was. Never. Again.
There's illumination on some of the things going on. They're going through a lot of changes. It is like dark night of the soul for them. They're waiting on money from overseas, in particular Russia, that collaborates with them. Their strength is waning. They're going to move on to a new leader that they're going to endorse for the White House. So they may not be behind Trump as much now, but they're Republicans that have been with them for a long time. A lot of them may also leave. So
yeah.
And it looks to me like they're going to try to recruit more young Republicans.
Yes. And I think they're going to go for the ones that are in with Turning Point, because Turning Point is imploding.
Yeah, which is another thing we'll have to look at here. Russell Vought, how is he feeling about what's happening at Heritage?
What a nut burger. Yeah, and so there could be oligarch money going in there, but like Rose Blue is saying, Russia's broke to broke. And I think Trump is really pissed at Zelensky because he's put the ball back right into Putin's side of the court, and Putin's attacking them on Christmas Day.
Yeah. I had a dream about that last night, that he would attack.
Yeah, I want you to share. Please share.
It was just one of those kind of fleeting dreams, and I kind of woke up in the middle of the night. I'm like, oh, it was probably ongoing at the time I was having the dream. I'm like, he's attacking him on Christmas.
Oh gosh. Okay. Russell Vought, Project 2025. What's he doing? His immediate future. How's he feeling? He's messed up. He's trying to hold it together. He's worried legally. He's really concerned legally. Hey, listen, and he's having a health problem. He's having a huge health problem. Holy cow, he ate too much. He did something bad here. Wow, he's going to take the money and run or eat it. Secrets. I'm out. I'm going to try to whip something else somewhere else. He's screwed.
Yeah, I think he's got addiction issues too, like Trump. He's probably snorting up he's having a very white Christmas.
Something is really, I'm telling you, something is really, really wrong with his health. Really wrong.
We'll do a health spread on him. I get he's waiting on Russia. He's waiting on Putin to secure money because all these people have left him alone. So he's the global connection in a way. And all these people that are leaving, exiting stage left, he feels very betrayed. He's casting judgment on them. But again, it's slowing the money down. But he's out of his mind. He is out of his mind on something. He better be careful he doesn't OD.
He's he might leave the country. I think he's gonna leave the country.
Let's do a quick health spread on him.
Okay, Russell Vought.
That came up in yours. Let me see specific.
Russell Vought, creator of 2025. Is his health bad?
Vote. I never know how to pronounce it. What's his health? Yeah, he's panic snorting. You're right, Deb.
Man, I shuffled and I'm getting He's right now, he's already currently under a physician's health plan. He's already being treated. And this is,
But he drinks too much too.
yeah, he's gonna have some problems. I think he's gonna be okay, but he's got problems. He's already had problems. He's having more, but he'll be okay.
Yeah, he's got urinary tract issues, kidney urinary tract. He needs to watch his heart because there's a genetic predisposition towards heart issues with him. So he's got to watch his heart circulatory. Yeah, major anxiety going on.
Yeah,
That's new for him. Like he hasn't had that before. Suddenly he's very anxious. His health is changing. He's starting to develop the stomach and intestinal tract things too. So shite is hitting the fan.
yeah.
Literally.
It is. And I'm telling, he is not going to be able to participate in this. You're going to see him leave the show. He's exiting.
Okay, so going back to everybody exiting Heritage, going to Mike Pence, what is Mike Pence's ultimate agenda? What is he trying to do? I forget what the name of his new organization is.
I forget too. What is Pence's agenda?
Y'all can help us in the chat if you remember.
Well, raising money for the Republican Party, right? But I also got the devil card, so trying to get people not to have fear, to overcome the fear. He wants to start something new, like a new chapter of something, a new group, a new chapter. Did anybody come up with the advancing American freedom? Oh, well, that would be getting away from the devil card, right? Taking the chains. Good.
Depends on how they want to advance America. I mean, Project 2025 was advancing in a bad way, right?
Yeah.
What is Mike Pence's agenda?
And he wants to get younger people. You're right. He's going to put those offers out there. He wants to try to help people that are struggling. He actually wants to do good. Because I think he knows what's going to happen here.
He definitely wants to get younger people, but he also wants to get back support from Republican voters. He's rushing in there trying to save,
The party.
get the voters back that they've lost. And he's also concerned about the jobs not being good, the jobs report.
Yeah.
All the people that have been let go.
Mm-hmm.
But he does want to kind of woo some of the younger people in. I think he does want to change everything that's been dismantled, like build it back. He feels betrayed. So bit by bit, he'd like to build back some of the stuff that's been taken away.
Yeah.
Okay, Turning Point USA.
Oh,
What
boy.
another shite show, right? I mean, they
Are they real? They are really having a tough time.
they are imploding between Erica Kirk, who's supposed to be carrying on the legacy, Nick Fuentes, Ben Shapiro, and Tucker Carlson screaming, yelling match. I'm kind of like, why would Erica invite all three of those there? Because she's on the board now running things. if they're not all on the same page. So what does she think about this?
Then Tucker, who's the blonde? The one that said minors aren't minors. That's,
Oh yeah, they should be
and Ramaswamy and Shapiro and JDV, and then they all spoke ill of each other. It's like, and then Nicki Minaj. Talk about, listen.
Somebody asked me for us to read on, is she trying to work her way in to get pardons for her brother and her husband? It's like, no, they were brought up on state charges for young people's sexual abuse.
There was a plan, though, for her to do that. I got that she planned that. Yeah. All right. What is Erica Kirk?
What's she think about all this attacking each other? What's she going to do about it?
Well, she was very emotional about it. She doesn't like it. She wants them to work hard. She wants them to try to get along. But I think we're going to have problems keeping up the rent or the money for the building.
And the organization itself.
Yeah, she wants money, but she gets very confused. Listen, and they're betraying each other. So
I get that too. It's like she could care less that they're betraying each other, except that it's bullying their fundraising. It's causing their fundraising, like the plans, the goals that they had, they're not reaching them. And it's also manipulating Republicans in a way that she can't get the money. Yeah, she can't get the money. So it's all about the money for her.
Yeah, they're not going to make it. They're splitting. It's,
I mean, I think, a lot of us said, like, we're in a civil war, but, it's just different. Like, it's done through technology. It's done through things like that. And these breakdowns of MAGA and everything. Like, what is MAGA anymore? Like, there is no leader of MAGA other than Trump.
Right.
And all these others are.
Everybody in those meetings has to have insurance or go without. So they're getting squeezed. And now, if any of them have overdue school payments, education payments, their wages are going to be garnished.
Yeah.
That starts.
They're bringing that back.
It starts in January. So they are going to be, whoa. There's them fighting squeezes right there.
Fighting words.
Fighting words, fighting squeezes.
A third of the U.S. debt is maturing in 2026. So they're going to have to refinance our national debt, which, Trump added to tremendously. He added to it in his first term and tremendously now. Will this trigger an economic downturn when they handle in 2026?
But we don't know if it's first half, second half?
I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
Will that be a problem? Will that initiate a downturn? Because who would trust us if he's anywhere near or Vance?
Well, most of our national debt's owned by like China and foreign countries.
Japan.
Japan. If they decide to cash out and say, "Yep, no."
Oh God, no. Loser. Oh, not good. Whoa. We have to laugh because We're not crying right now. I don't think this bodes very well.
Oh no. Oh no.
Oh no. Nobody wants it. Gentlemen, nobody wants it.
The loser.
Oh my
Judgment on the loser by these countries that hold it.
Oh no.
Yeah, there's indecision about it because
We're in
nobody
trouble.
wants it. And the impoverished, I get a yes. Those that are living on more minimal means are going to feel an economic downturn. So the good news is I think, when the Dems take the midterms,
Mm-hmm.
they're gonna come together and rebuild things. So maybe attack the tax system that Trump set up.
But whoever comes in after this mess, after this huge mess, I always saw it as like we were sitting at a grand buffet table, and Trump just went in and pooped or had diarrhea over everything. Sorry for the visual. And then, it's like, who wants to come in and try to clean that up? Who wants it?
Yeah. It's like after the initial crash, they come in and they start changing things to heal. So, to heal the economy. So
and they're just saying we don't have the same faith. We don't have the same trust. We don't have these same agreements, and you've just blown it. There's no good cards here. It's not okay.
So for those who have watched Lori and me for a while, they know we believe the 2025 election was stolen, was hacked. I think
2024.
2024. Sorry, yeah, because we're in 2025. Hello. Because Musk messed with it, and admitted like he pushed a button at 6:00 that night, and all of a sudden everything changed and flipped, and winning all the swing states. That just doesn't happen.
And the popular vote.
Yeah. As well as like throwing out mail-in ballots and other ways they could affect it. I think they affected the totals. I don't think they affected individual voting machines. It was the totals, the tabulators. Election Truth Alliance has been working on it. Smart Elections has been working on it. Will anything come out in early 2026 about the stolen election? Now, I was just watching Professional Aquarian Astrology. I love her and Cosmic Owl when they get together. And Kamala's astrology looks pretty strong at the end of January going into February. So will anything come out in first quarter 2026 about the stolen election?
You notice how much we're getting the death card? I think this beginning of this new year is really going to facilitate the change.
Yeah. I think the government shutdown was the start of really people being dissatisfied that voted for Trump, dissatisfied with him, and starting to change the energy away from him. He doesn't have that much support anyway. He's got less than 30% of the country.
Will
anything come out?
Anything come out with positive information?
Like substantial, not just the reports that we see from them, something substantial proving like hand counts or
proofs, facts.
Something that would stand up in a court of law.
My first card. Don't worry, be happy now.
Oh, that's funny. That's funny. I get a surprise.
Mm-hmm.
Kind of alleviates some of those fears from things that they've been looking into. And the lies around the election. Here it is again.
Mm-hmm.
How things were changed like at the last minute. Correct.
Victory after adversity. It's still, it may be a little, I mean, the tide is turning and his health is going down and there's massive problems. They're still not certain yet. It's like they still are wading through some uncertainty, on the doorstep here. And then they get some clarity,
There's something they secure on how all the votes grew, like how they suddenly grew so big. There's something they secure evidence wise. I think from one of the states maybe that they're doing their deep dives on. So, and people aren't accepting the results. So judgment's going to be on Trump. He really truly lost this election.
He really truly did. And there's going to be a younger person. It could be someone associated with the Poly Market guy. Somebody, a younger person is coming forward with really important information, but they might not be able.
That's interesting because that's where I start.
Okay.
The surprising news, the younger person.
Yeah.
Whatever it is will move them along easier in court.
Right. Okay. And then it looks like it's just enough to have this move along, and then it gets solidified. So I feel good. I feel good about that, because there's no way to start off with that spread, to start off with and end with the chariot. There's no way to misinterpret that, but they're still wading through some of the illusion. They're going to see that everything was moved, The
sad part is, like, they can't get a hold of a machine to show how the tabulators were changed to reverse engineer it, so to speak. But the courts could order an investigation into that eventually if they have enough data, or if they have text messages or something showing, hey, they were talking about this.
Yeah, I think we have a lot to look forward to. And I want everyone to remain hopeful, because we keep getting the death card, the 8 of Wands, the Knight of Swords, and the Ace of Swords, and the Wheel of Fortune. There's changes coming. And I think we can really hold on to it. I think that we're going to see some really good change.
Mm-hmm. It's Age of Aquarius is about the people. And that's, I was listening to Rachel Maddow on YouTube from Monday night because my TV's out. I was listening on YouTube, and she was talking about, everywhere where they've taken dictators down, it's because the people stand up, and we have to stay strong in that. Thank you, Caroline. What do we need to know to continue the fight, to continue the resistance?
Yeah, and I think the lawyers leaving the heritage thing, I think that was a big clue.
Mm-hmm.
And we saw with our own eyes what happened in Turning Point. Like, we saw it, we heard it,
I think that, the Supreme Court saying you can't send National Guard in Trump to states, the states control that. That nips right there, like any fear of protesting, because a lot of people will like, oh God, they're going to stick the National Guard on the protesters. Well, now he can't. Yeah. They're going to have to.
In Chicago, it can't.
But that was for Illinois, but that's going to carry over because this is Supreme Court saying it. So hello, California, Washington, D.C., Portland, everywhere that he's been sending people in, even down in Tennessee. What do we need to know to stay empowered as we resist, as we fight? in 2026. Strength in numbers. Thank you, Rainbow.
But this is just takes me back to what you said about being forewarned is being armed.
Or armed. Mhm.
Yeah, because the people we're dealing with, a lot of these people we're dealing with have they've done this and they've done this before, you know, and they're good at it and they're good at bullying. Slow and steady progress.
I'm getting a couple of things here. I've got my card for America on the bottom, but I'm getting there's healing through the courts.
Mm-hmm.
So where he keeps trying to influence judges and everything, and even going up to the higher courts, and don't let them separate us. Don't fall for the propaganda, and don't let them separate us. Stay stuck together, because the messaging, the propaganda is going to be horrible. And then I'm getting like get out there, accumulate the votes, block the Republicans, talk to the talking points about the future and balance and justice and what's right for those, the everyone that's not a billionaire. To me, that's the main thing. Like if you talk about economy, they keep talking about egg prices are going down. Eggs were $5.99 the other day at my grocery store. They're not going down. So anything you can do to get out there and just keep talking about the economy, because even those people that were, MAGA supporters, they're feeling it in their pocketbook.
Yeah, and they're going to try something with the military. They will try something with the military. One of the biggest messages I'm getting is that you can't stay inside and just look out your window at this. You're going to need to get somebody, drive, make signs, protest. You will not be able to sit and watch. You will need to take part in any way, shape, or form that you can, because we're being called into action.
It's up to us to defend democracy.
Way more of us than them. So we must gather, and we have to march ourselves. Just like Bulgaria just threw over their fake government.
Yeah.
They just did it.
They just did it.
Yeah.
They're like, you got to go. You're corrupt. You got to go.
Yeah.
On their little pig signs and saying, you have to go. We're not going to stand for this. Thank you, Millinard. I need to get out my angel cards. Lori is only joining us for an hour. I might go a little overtime, so y'all hang on. After this, I might do some more political readings a little bit. But what do the angels want to tell us for Christmas? Do we have an angel message? Okay.
I'm waiting for them to text me back to tell me, okay, we're home, or...
I love this deck. This is the Influence of Angels. I don't use it often on here because some of the cards are a little bit dark, so they're quite glossy. But I love to use it for angel messages.
All right, an angelic message.
Christmas message for everyone. Yeah, don't shop at Amazon. That's good. boycott. I was listening to somebody, and I can't remember who it was the other day in a video, and they were talking about, the retail reports that are going to come out about how, oh, they made so much more money. Well, people are buying less items, but because of the price increases, they're spending just as much. So, the reports are going to be a little bit inflated. The profitability is going to be a little bit inflated.
And then I would like to ask if we could, I want to see how Kamala's feeling.
Okay.
See if she's feeling positive or strong, that'll
Yeah.
help.
I hope she runs again, because I think she won the last time.
Yeah.
I actually hope she does decide to run again.
I know she will.
But I'm not sure she's ready to take that on if they manipulate it again.
We're doing the angelic, right now we're doing the angelic message. And since you have the angel card,
Getting some major arcana.
will you go first since we have the angel cards?
Yeah. First thing I'm getting, this is the hangman on the bottom. So it's talking about we're awakening to a new perspective on things. We're learning, maybe some of the stuff we've gone through is to break it down so that we can rebuild stronger and rebuild better, and learning to take care of each other's one of the big things I'm getting from this. So our belief systems globally are we're looking at them, we're casting our judgment on them, and we're kind of changing the structure of our own belief systems here and coming up with new inspiration, new ways of even connecting in with the angels, right? The divine feminine that has been blocked for so long is coming back out now. It's like we haven't been able to see, like, where's all this nurturing energy going? But we're fighting for it. We're bringing that nurturing energy forward, and also learning how to take care of each other in a more practical way, bringing that benevolence in. So it's the rise of the feminine. We just have to pay attention to it and get a different perspective about how it's showing itself and how to work with that energy.
I love that. I got two. I did one whole spread, and I was hoping and wishing that the temperance card would come up, and it did. But I think one of the messages is that Biden isn't just laying down. He's talking with other people, and although he was unstable with his health for a little bit, he has a plan. He's not done at the table. He's gonna shoot something, and shoot something. He's he hasn't played his last ace. He's got one up his sleeve.
Look at how vocal Hunter Biden's been in the last 24 hours.
Oh, I didn't even see that. I don't know anything about that.
He did an interview and he basically called Trump out as a pedophile. He's like, this is, he's in the files,
Mm-hmm. And the other angelic message is that even though the energy is going up and down, there is a plan. And the angels are saying just to stick together and fight, just get together with everybody. And I think this is like, I feel like this is people that maybe we didn't get along with before. We didn't see eye to eye, because this is crazy stuff. I mean, they're wrecking everything, right? So they're trying to help us formulate a plan together that everyone will come together, and that it takes a village, to raise a child, and it takes everybody with a plan to get to the new stage.
That's my fear. Like, I believe, the Dems are going to take the Senate and the House in midterms, but if they get that power and don't do anything with it, like how many years they had to codify Roe v. Wade since the 70s and never did it. It's like, get in there and take care of all this stuff. Take care of it and start passing law after law after law to get all of this on the books.
Yes. So I think I love this message. It's just like, stand your ground. Everybody will get together. Everyone will come together. It's good. I love it. I'm a little concerned about Biden. Are you going to stay on? Because I have to take off.
Uh-huh.
Okay. So maybe you could do a reading on Biden's health.
I was thinking about that because he has been battling cancer. Although the pictures I've seen him, he looks pretty good. But I'll do a Biden health spread. Thank you so much for joining me on Christmas, and y'all stay tuned because I'll stay here for a little bit.
Okay, it was my pleasure, and it's such an honor, and I absolutely love the energy with all of you guys, but especially when we do holiday shows. It's very special to me.
Thank you for always joining me on the holidays. You're always very kind to do that.
Merry Christmas. I'll see you guys later.
Bye, Lori. Okay, let's do a Biden health spread. So, guys in the chat, while I'm shuffling, do you have family members that were Trump supporters that you're now seeing through the holidays are shifting? Biden's health. If Biden had or has prostate cancer, but the pictures I've seen him, he looks pretty good. Just remember, people are stubborn. Like, I'm a liberal. It would take a lot to shift my opinion on something when it comes to politics. So people do tend to kind of entrench themselves a little bit. But I also, in my very first election, voted Republican. And then after that, I never voted Republican again. So people do change. Biden is healing here from his cancer. He may have completed his treatments. His balance is a little bit off. I mean, he's in his 80s. So he may have a little bit of an issue with balance. But I get in general, his health is pretty good. Whenever I get the sun card in health readings or the strength card, if it's not followed by something like waning strength or something, to me, that means their health in general for their age is pretty good. He may be on some medication, like a pill form of chemo. They've come out, with some of those pill forms of chemo, just to sort of support the treatment they have done on him, but he's improving. Pardon me, when I'm focused on this, I don't follow the chat as closely as when I have other people on that can talk a little bit, and I can watch the chat a little bit closer. Yeah, I think his biggest concern is his mobility issues. So he needs to be careful he doesn't trip and fall, and is picking up his feet when he walks, or if he needs to start walking with a cane or something to help stability. It's some of it's coming from back issues, and some of it, as we age, our spine compresses. Like that happens to everybody. Most people will shrink an inch or two by the time they're older. So he's got a little mobility issues, but I don't get anything major. So I want to ask this. Will we get 3 more Republicans to resign in the House in 2026? Will we get at least 3 more Republicans to resign before the midterms? Biden has ataxia, which is stiffness when walking. Will we get 3 more Republicans to resign? It's funny. This is my pack your bags, you're moving or leaving card. Like if somebody's asking, like, am I gonna move again? Get a new home. That's my pack your bags, you're leaving card. There's going to be 2 women that leave, 2 more women. And I think, again, it's over the Epps files. That's a big yes for me. There may be a 3rd one that's not a woman. So there may be 1 man. 3. Strength on that. Trying to protect their own reputations. Well, okay. Yeah, we'll watch for that. I can't remember who it was that introduced it, but someone is writing up a bill to limit term limits for the Supreme Court to 15 years, which means, every 2 years we be changing somebody. Will they get term limits on the Supreme Court? For those Republicans leaving, my intention was I was reading in Congress, like in the House. Would we get 3 more in the House? So no, it's not going to be Bondi and Nome. They're not in the House. Will we get term limits for the Supreme Court? Yeah, my gut feeling for midterms, what I keep sensing is that a lot of Republicans voters who are suffering under the economy just aren't going to vote. Like they can't bring themselves to vote for a Democrat, but they're not going to go vote for a Republican either. So Um, so I love how the bottom of the deck a lot of times reflects what the question is. So that's my card for a judge. The king or queen of swords will show up for me for judges. You know, I don't think we're going to get it in this presidential cycle, but I think in 2028 we'll get it. Like it'll be represented again. So like they're working on it, but it's like, you know, kind of 50-50 if they can get people to agree on it. I don't think they get enough votes. I think they're like still trying to assess who else they can get. And it's a problem. Thank you, Selma. It's a problem, but I'm getting, you know, a couple of years later, good news on it. So in 2028, good news on it because they've got enough new people in there they can get the votes and healing with that. So 2 to 3 years. So I'm going to say in 2028 we'll get term limits on Supreme Court. My apologies if I'm missing anybody that's super chatting because I tend to, when I read alone, I get much more absorbed into the cards. I forget to look up. And I'm a fast card thrower. You know, when I do personal readings, I always tell people, come with a bunch of questions because I can throw a lot of cards fast and read on a lot of different, you know, topics. So I always tell people, try to come with a bunch of questions if you can. Okay. Bill Clinton is saying, release the files. You know, I think they've definitely made sure all those Clinton photos were in there. We know Clinton did some fundraising with Epstein. You know, I think pretty much every president since the early 90s was doing fundraising with them. But even Bill Clinton is saying, release the files. So he apparently has nothing to hide. So I'm going to start here. I'm going to ask, was Clinton involved with any of the young underagers? I had always gotten that he did not go to Epstein Island, Little St. James. Yeah, my phone is laying on my laptop. Y'all may hear it buzzing. Somebody keeps texting me. It's Christmas Day. Everybody starts texting. Making sure it wasn't somebody asking a question. See, I get a no. You know, and I know Epstein and Bill Clinton went to Africa together working on stuff. I get a no. I get, you know, he had planned travel with Epstein. I get he didn't accept any of the women. I want to ask, was he aware? Was Bill Clinton aware of what was going on with younger women? Did he see it on the planes? Did he? And I question everything they're releasing in these Epstein files because they may have AI generated photos and everything else. So I kind of wait till I see videos done about it, like to verify, is that true or not? Is that real or not? Or was it faked? I'm taking care of my neighbor's cats from now through New Year's. So after I finish the live stream, I have to go over and feed two 18-year-old cats. They're quite old. Thank you, democracy. So was Clinton aware of what was going on with Epstein and women? Berno, yes, we threw on something similar question early in the live stream. Lori and I did. So go back and watch the beginning. So we're asking about the younger people, and I got the younger people card on the bottom. Again, I love how when I shuffle, a lot of times the card on the bottom reflects the question. Sometimes it's a response to it, but 90% of the time it's acknowledging the question for me for some reason. See, I don't think, like in the 90s when Clinton was president, I think he was more looking at the celebrities and well-known people that were attracted to Epstein for different reasons, or that Epstein kind of, he had this way with his charm of kind of pulling people in to do things for him and stuff. So to me, it looks like not the younger people that Clinton was aware of. It's more of he was aware of high profile people that were around Epstein. What came out later about younger people, I get really that's when everything changed, and he felt very burdened by that. So that's when he started passing judgment on Epstein. I don't think he was aware of it at the time it was going on in the 90s and early 2000s. Well, and looking at Trump, even while Trump was president, up until Epstein was unalived. Yeah, the DOJ had even put out a fake video of Epstein in his jail cell. After saying there's no video, then they put out this fake one of him supposedly unaliving himself. It's like, yeah, no. So I want to, I'm not sure how to ask this. There was a letter supposedly written by Epstein to Larry Nassar, who was the gymnast doctor that is now in jail. But it was sent after Epstein died through the prison mail system to where Larry Nassar was, and it apparently got returned to sender. So it came back to the prison and it ended up in the Epstein files. I want to know if that letter was real or not, because some people are saying it's not Epstein's handwriting and he wouldn't do that, especially he wouldn't write, another sex offender at a time where he's facing a significant, he's in jail. He's waiting for his court case to come up. It would make no sense to write to Larry on a postcard where anyone could read it. Like, who would do that? He's not stupid. So I want to ask if that letter was planted by DOJ or FBI. Was that letter planted, or even by Bill Barr could have planted it to cover up? Was that letter real? His inmate number was nowhere on the correspondence. So to me, it makes no sense. You're in jail about to go on trial for what basically would have been a life sentence if he'd been convicted, right? His charges, he would have been in prison the rest of his life. So why would you risk that by writing on a postcard, So did Epstein, let me ask it that way. Did Epstein write that postcard to Larry? Did Epstein write the postcard himself to Larry? There's Epstein in jail. Did he write it? No, it's a lie. It's gaslighting. And even though it implicated Trump, it's a manipulation. So no, I don't think he wrote it. And they've had that in the FBI files since he died, like going back to, when was that, 2018, 2019, when he passed his mortal coil. Can't believe it's been that long. I can't believe 2026 is here. I'm still grasping with that. So let me ask, did Bill Barr have the letter written? Did Bill Barr have the letter faked out to Larry Nassar? Bill Barr was the last person that visited Epstein in jail, I believe. I do believe Trump had him unalived to protect himself. And Bill Barr was involved, so did Bill Barr have that postcard faked? He's definitely involved in the action taken to unalive Mr. Epps. Remember the old days where we couldn't say Epstein's name, so we all called him Mr. Epps. So the letter, thank you, Judy. I think he like had somebody work on it for him. There's some kind of corruption involved in it so that the investigators, would find it. But I think the directive came from Trump himself. That's who gave the order, so to speak. So he was aware there was a fake letter. What I'm getting. Let's see. Can't read my own handwriting. Oh, I want to ask this. Will Bill Clinton testify to Congress over Epstein? Will Bill Clinton testify to Congress over Epstein? I've taken the next week off, so I'm going to try to go live a little bit over the next week while I've got a little bit more time to do it. I'm not doing the New Year's Eve fundraiser this year, though, so I'm like, time to pass the torch. I've been doing that for 8 years now, so anybody else that would like to do the fundraiser readers out there, I'd be happy to join you. I just don't want to host it. You have to come up with so many questions to do those 7 hours live. Will Bill Clinton testify to Congress over Epstein? He would, but he wants it to be seen. So he's like Jack Smith. He wants it to be broadcast. So unless they change it, and don't do it in secret, and I think they would fight Bill on that. I think they try to keep it quiet, do it in secret, just like they did with Jack Smith. So it's kind of it's like, yes, but he wants to do it for a growing audience, is what I'm getting, like a bigger audience. Do it, televise it. Lori kind of touched on this, and I think we read on it. Thank you, Chris. Will Trump, go after Obama? My feeling is he would like to just take people out. No court, no trial, no anything. So, have people unalived, including protesters. So I want to ask that. Because we know he's had people unalived. People that know too much. Ivana. Epstein. And probably some of these women. So I forgot how I asked the question. I get in a different headspace when I'm doing readings, so a little bit of a kind of altered energy. And it's not unusual, even in personal readings, if I sometimes forget the question. It's not dementia, I promise. It's me losing my train of thought, so to speak, a little bit. Will he try to unalive anyone in the U.S.? I'll ask it that way. If I pause a minute, the question usually comes back to me. Will Trump try to unalive any American citizens? The bully on the bottom. He's just such a disgusting person. It's like I don't know if there's anyone any more disgusting. The fact that he could allow USAID to be dissolved and all those things. Like there's so many people and children that have already died because of him. Yes. If he doesn't like something in secret, if it's causing him anxiety and he thinks it could help him heal the situation or help him improve the situation, he would pay somebody to take somebody out. I get in particular, like if more keeps coming out about Melania, who is in the files, right? Her director for her Amazon movie is in the files. So yeah, it's like, you know, if somebody's talking a lot about him and has a different opinion from him, yeah, he'd take a contract out, fight him. Yes, he would order it. So I'm going to do one more question, and we'll call it a night so I can go feed my neighbor's kitties. I will try to come back on again, like I said, while I've got a little time off, because I usually don't have this much time to do readings. I want to know, after Trump put his name on the on the JFK Memorial Library, you know, he's so stupid he doesn't realize you have to die to get your name, you know, on these memorial buildings. We can only hope somebody's name comes up in the obituaries pretty soon. But what hit me is, you know, he wants his name on everything. He's trying to put it on, you know, Navy ships and everything. So in his mind, his twisted little demented mind, does he think he's going to be immortalized in a positive way after he goes? Or is he trying to do this while he's alive because he knows he doesn't have the approval rating, you know, here in the US or anywhere in the world to ever be immortalized in a positive way? Is he doing this because he's afraid he won't get memorialized? Or is he doing this just because he wants his name on everything? What's his motive? Yeah, I'm surprised he hasn't taken Lincoln's head off the Lincoln Memorial and put his own head on it. Yeah, I think he thinks he's loved. I think he thinks people would come together and memorialize him and be talking about him and do something in his honor. I think he thinks he's strong and people would defend his reputation. The only one that probably wouldn't would be Melania. So he can't even face the fact that he has less than a 30% approval rating. Loser Trump, the stupid one, the fool. Don't give him ideas. He's not smart enough to get an idea. His score on his mental test is probably much higher than his IQ. Well, thank you all for sharing your Christmas with me. If you're escaping family for a little bit and watching, thank you, and enjoy your evening. If you're alone like me, I tend to like to do Christmas alone. I've worked in retail for 40 plus years, and even when you work in the corporate office, you end up working in the stores on Black Friday and Saturdays through Christmas. So for me, Christmas Day is all about vegging and having downtime. So I don't tend to, even when people invite me over, I don't tend to go anywhere on Christmas Day. So I enjoy sharing it with, 1,300 of my other friends on the YouTube. Sunday night, we're on Becca's channel, House of Lenormand. I'm going to try to go live. I don't know when. I'm probably just going to pop up live every now and then. Probably more so in the evenings because I don't like to interfere with like Lori and Autumn that tend to go live during the daytime. But definitely going to try to go live for another hour here or there. Johnny has been helping me with ideas to read on, because that's the problem. There's only so many questions you can come up with, without interfering with our Sunday night and having a lot of questions for those 2 hours. But Johnny's been feeding me some other ideas for videos. I'm like, I need ideas. So have a wonderful rest of your Christmas. If you haven't watched it, go watch A Wonderful Life again. I think that's such a great movie to remind you life is good. We just don't always appreciate it. Life is good. We will get through this. Now there's Johnny. Hey, Johnny. I'm going to try to do one live stream before New Year's, just on some 2026 predictions on different subjects. So definitely watch for that one, because I like doing lives. I don't like pre-recording videos and having to wait while they upload and everything. But I'll definitely try to do some predictions on different things for 2026. I will say I had another. I was meditating one time, and I kept keep an eye on Cambodia, and like the next morning, Thailand had attacked Cambodia over a border war. And I had a dream the other night about that. I think that's going to escalate. So keep an eye on Cambodia, Thailand thing that's going on their borders. But I want to do some more readings on Ukraine and Putin. I also want to go back. Thank you, Cindy. I want to go back and watch my video where I channeled Marjorie Taylor Greene way back in like 2019. It was when the Mueller report had come out. She got a lot of things right. And she was talking about that the Mueller report was closer to 2,000 pages. And what we saw was parts 1 and 2. It later came out that Lindsey Graham mentioned something about parts 5 and 6. And I'm like, okay, well, where's parts 3 and 4? So it was much bigger than we knew. And I believe in that video, I think she said Putin, I have to go back and watch it, would be gone possibly by 2026. I want to go back and rewatch my own video. Thank you all. Have a wonderful evening. Hey, Johnny. Maybe I can coax Johnny into going live with me one night too. Y'all have a great rest of your Christmas, and I will see you before New Year's. Not sure if I'll see you again before Penny Boots Sunday night, but we'll definitely see you a couple of times before New Year's. Bye, everybody. Thank you for all the super chats, too. And thank you, moderators.